Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure everyone has heard about the recent devastating earthquake in Japan with a magnitude of 9, right?
Yes!
Thank you. It was one of the biggest earthquakes Mother Earth has ever created. The damages continue because the earthquake generated destructive tsunami waves like in this picture. Cities were wiped out and lots of people were sadly killed. So, have you ever wondered if an earthquake could occur in Korea? Since we are relatively safe from earthquakes, many of us think it would never happen in our country. However, we are not as safe as we think. It is very possible for an earthquake to occur in Korea or for earthquakes from other countries to harm us. Then, do you know the meaning of an earthquake? An earthquake is a shaking of the ground caused by movement of the Earth's crust. The merit of an earthquake is that we can determine the structure of the Earth. On the other hand, it can cause damages such as huge losses of lives, properties, and even a society as a whole. Well, what can we do to prevent these problems? Do you think we can minimize troubles caused by earthquakes? Without hesitation, it's easy for me to say, of course. There are a few ways to minimize troubles. First, we should construct buildings with an earthquake-resistant design. There are too many accidents in Korea, not even related to earthquakes, but only because of poor construction. Imagine how awful the damages would be if there were earthquakes in Korea. Second, we must standardize earthquake education in our schools. Unlike other countries, Koreans fall behind in earthquake awareness in schools. In fact, Japan staved off some damages thanks to earthquake education. Third, we should predict earthquakes through continuous studies. This is the best way to prevent devastating aftermath from earthquakes. Earthquakes are life-changing and a misfortune for people all around the world. It is not just a problem for countries that are earthquake-prone. We have to consider this as a global problem and make an effort together in unity. Donations from Korea and all over the world are great examples of it. It is extremely critical that we try to avoid earthquakes in our country and aid other countries in need of help due to earthquakes. If so, someday we may be able to win the fight against Mother Nature's rage. Thank you.
The recent disaster in Japan was so miserable, and as she said, please be quiet. As she said, we should keep in our mind that such things can happen in Korea too. Next is Park Joo-hee, second grade, class number 13, about appearance-oriented society.
Hello everybody. I'm definitely sure all of you are having a great time. Then shall we begin? Before getting in touch with the main subject, let me ask you something. Suppose you're an employer and you're having an interview. You have to hire one of two men or two women. One is very nice in appearance, but has little experience about the job. In contrast, the other is ordinary in appearance, but has much more experience than the former person. What did you do? What would you do in this situation? In reality, numbers of people may hire the former person, even if you say, no, I will hire the latter. Like the situation given above, according to the Foresight career, about 80% of college students who participated in research have experienced discrimination in employment or part-time job because of their looks. In this situation, even though it's hard to recognize it, we live in appearance-oriented society, which is also called lookism. Sadly, I'm a victim of it. When I was in middle school student, I always got along with pretty friends. At first, I didn't care about others' thinking, but as time went by, other friends started to neglect me, for example, have plastic surgery. So I was really hurt and shameful at the time. We can find this similar circumstance almost everywhere. Often it's not commonly said or newsworthy, but it's always there. Among teachers, employers, friends, and even among kids. Because of this contradictive aspect of our society, where people are estimated by their look, a number of people who deserve to be respected suffer from stress and depression. And even they lose their self-esteem. To change this conflicted society, we have to admit many serious problems that are caused by lookism. And we should try to judge people not by their appearance, but by their own ability and humanity. Of course, I know it is hard for us to change our deeply rooted thought quickly. But if we pull out this narrow-minded thought slowly but fully, we can make a better future that does not bias thinking. Have an open-minded thought and change your attitude toward people. Then our impartial society will receive us with warm hands. Thanks for listening.
Obviously sad thing that people cannot be estimated by their abilities but their looks. Next is Ho Hyun-soo, second grade, class number 12, and the title is A True Multicultural Society.